This presentation will cover substance use and addiction and looking at the various components that go along with addiction. First, students will use this drug use infographic to spawn a discussion and a journal entry. As you can see, when you look at the symptoms of teen drug use, it focuses on alcohol and marijuana use and synthetic marijuana or spice, and finally cough and cold medicine, so over-the-counter medications. So these are the type of substances that students are often exposed to and that are readily available to our students. So having that infographic to use as a springboard for a discussion is our goal with that infographic. So you will do a class starter with a journal entry. Do you feel drugs are a problem in our society? What about in our school? Why or why not? And explain your answer. I usually give the kids 3 to 5 minutes to reflect and write on this, and then we have a class discussion. And in this case, the discussion is discussing drug use and why they feel it is or is not a problem in our society or school. And you can choose how you share out with your students. You can have them go around and each share a point. You can have small group discussions. It just depends on how lengthy you want the discussion to be. Now, drugs and their effect. I have here a link for a great video from YouTube, Why Do We Get Addicted? We are not going to watch the video for part of this presentation because you can watch it. It's about a 4-minute video clip, and it talks about the effects of substance use and addiction in the brain and why the brain becomes addicted. So again, it just follows up with the students about looking at addiction and substance use. Then once they have watched that video, you can have them complete this assignment. And I've included it as a Google Doc for you, and you will see that there are various different substances. And so they're going to look at the different drug and then look at the risks that are associated with each type of substance. So the first one is over-the-counter medications. These are cold medicines, ibuprofen, that type of thing. How can they be abused and what are the risks? Next is prescription medication. So this is where your Oxycontin, Lortab, anything over the counter, or prescription can be used in this category. Next are your herbal and natural supplements. A lot of times kids think that, tobacco, hookah, that kind of thing is okay. Next, illegal and illicit drugs. So this is the category that most kids are going to be familiar with. And what are the risks? And then again, age-restricted drugs there. So for this age group, everything is restricted. So alcohol, cigarettes, all of that. And they need to look at how those impact the risks. So again, tying that back into the addiction. So once you've completed the video and the drugs, you are going to have them move on to looking at their project for this unit or this activity. So I'm having them create a project where they research a certain substance. I'm using alcohol. It's the most common and the most readily available to them, but they can choose any of the substances discussed. So alcohol, beverages divided into 3 categories. We got beer, wine, spirits, so they're going to be familiar with those. So they need to be able to identify and tell us what the substance is. Okay, the history. So part of their project is to look at the history. So again, going through the history of alcohol, where it was produced, what it started as, and from the earliest times to the present times. It's used in religion, used in worship, used for entertainment, and so they have to be able to identify what's the history of the substance. Next, the effects. So with alcohol, there's definite physical effects on the body, and this one looks at the effects on the brain. So they have to be able to include the effects of the substance and how it impacts them. Okay, various street names. Okay, what does it look like? How would they hear it? So again, this will be particular to each substance. And then facts. These are interesting facts. 5 interesting facts about their substance. So you can see that there's various ones here, but again, it's going to be specific to each substance. Now, the project is included here, and I included it as a Google Doc so you can access the whole thing. It is rather lengthy, so you may want to go through it with your students. But the assignment is that they're going to create a type of group presentation. We work on it in class. They can do it alone or with a partner. They have a couple of class times to do it. It tells you, it breaks down what the points are, the day of presenting. As we scroll down, this is their grading sheet. So how many points, what does it include, interesting facts, and then the overall presentation, what it needs to include. And this is a daily task sheet. So each day that we work on it, what did they accomplish? Okay, where are we going to the lab? And giving them time to work on this. So they are fully aware of what the expectations are and the requirements are for the project. So using this, it can span over a few days, or you can give them the intro on the first day and then work on the project from there. Depending on how lengthy you want it to be is really up to you. Good luck.